Welcome to MarketSnap's daily market rundown. The Magnificent Seven shed over $2 trillion in value this month, but today the market decided to throw a party anyway. The S&P 500 is closing out its best quarter in 6 years, and the action under the hood tells you exactly where the smart money is rotating. It was a risk-on session to wrap up a blockbuster first half. The Dow hit another record, the Nasdaq surged, and small caps continued their historic run. But the real story? The market is broadening out in a way that should make any long-term investor sit up and pay attention. Let's get to the numbers. The S&P 500 added 0.8% to close near 7,500. The Nasdaq was the star, jumping 1.5 to 26,214, powered by a massive semiconductor rally. The Dow Jones Industrial Average edged up 136 points to close above 52,300, a fresh record. And the Russell 2000, our small-cap bellwether, gained 0.5% to 3,024, putting it on track for its best first half since 1991. The VIX, the market's fear gauge, dropped nearly 7% to 16.45, signaling a lot of complacency as we head into July. The S&P 500 is set for its strongest quarterly performance since 2020, defying a war, sticky inflation, and a tech correction. The resilience here is impressive, but the composition of the rally is what matters for your portfolio. The Nasdaq is on track to wrap up the quarter with a roughly 20% gain. That's a stunning number, but it masks a massive divergence. While the index is up, the Magnificent Seven have shed about $5 trillion from their peak. The baton is being passed. The big winners today were all about one thing: the physical build-out of AI. SanDisk absolutely exploded, up nearly 11%. KLA Corporation jumped over 8%, and AMD surged almost 8%. Intel, the comeback story of the year, was up 6%, and Vertiv, the company that powers data center infrastructure, rallied 9%. This is the picks and shovels trade in full force. On the flip side, the losers list was dominated by telecom and some consumer names. AT&T dropped 5%, Verizon fell 4%, and T-Mobile lost 3.6%. The fear? SpaceX potentially disrupting the industry with satellite-to-phone service. Uber also slid 4.4% after ending its pilot partnership with Waymo in Phoenix. Among the mega caps, Nvidia bounced 2.6% back above 200s, and Apple rallied 2.7%. But Amazon was down slightly, and Netflix dropped over 3%, continuing its slide. The action is clearly rotating away from the high-flying consumer tech and into the infrastructure plays. Looking at the weekly winners, the theme of industrial and defense strength is undeniable. Honeywell's tracking stock surged 27% after its split. Axon Enterprise, the body cam and software company, was up 18%. Roblox gained 15%, and Texas Pacific Land, a huge beneficiary of AI data center power demand, was up nearly 15%. The weekly losers tell a cautionary tale. Supermicro dropped another 16% as the Taiwan smuggling probe intensifies. Jefferies Financial fell 19%. Oracle, despite its AI narrative, is down 34% in the last month alone. The hyperscalers are facing a brutal reality check on their AI spending. Sector-wise, it was all about healthcare and tech for the week. Healthcare led with a 3.6% gain, followed by technology at nearly 3%. Communication services and consumer cyclical also had strong weeks. The only sector in the red for the week was basic materials, down 0.5%, and energy, which slipped nearly 1% as oil prices moderated on hopes for U.S.-Iran talks. The macro picture is getting interesting. Job openings hit a 2-year high, but hiring remains tepid. Consumer confidence ticked up but missed expectations. And the new Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh, is sending mixed signals, vowing to slay inflation while the market expects him to get leeway from the White House. Cleveland Fed President Hammack even suggested AI-fueled inflation could require rate hikes. That's a key risk for the second half. Earnings season is just around the corner. This week, we get reports from Nike after the close today and Constellation Brands later this week. But the big one everyone is waiting for is the upcoming tech earnings, which Dan Ives calls a huge validation moment for the Mag 7. You can find exclusive earnings transcript summaries on MarketSnap. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in. The big takeaway? The market is broadening out, and the AI trade is evolving from the story stocks to the build-out stocks. Make sure to check out our SWOT analyses on individual names to see where we see the best risk-reward for the long haul. We'll see you tomorrow.